A cool night in April is about to get hot as Dave's Crimson Vibe, Baby Bruce, and DJ J present an evening with a Vail Hollywood. Vail Hollywood, live up close.
As soon as I walked in the building, I seen the baddest chick I ever seen in my life.
Sunday, April 10th, 6 p.m. at Dave's Crimson Bar on James Harrison Parkway in Tuscaloosa.
And she told me this, she said, is you 25 and up? And do you do grown folk stuff? Yeah.
A Vail Hollywood doing all his hits, including 25 and up. Oh! And drinking again.
Oh, baby, girl, you got me drinking over you.
Get your tickets now at Dave's Crimson Bar or see Baby Bruce and DJ Jam. For info, call 205-454-1290. A Vail Hollywood, Sunday, April 10th, 6 p.m. at Dave's Crimson Bar. Be there.
Okay, we're back. I'm sorry about that. I have no idea what's been going on with the effects of my iPad. I guess my iPad said, "There, you used me enough, and you can't use me no more." So we're back on the program. We got my good friend Mike here with us. We'll give people a few minutes to chime back in. Sorry about that. Once again, I have no idea what is going on. But sound like it want me to get a new iPad, and I just don't want to do it. But look like that's the only way it's going to work. But I'm using my phone right now, and we'll go from there. Once again,
I just take it to get a look at there. I don't know necessarily because if it's still taking, you got Apple Care on your iPad.
I do.
Yeah, I'll take it to have everything checked out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of buying a new one if you don't need a new one.
Yeah, that's true too. But I can't afford to have it. Look, this iPad has been around for about a good little while, so I'm gonna say we can't not say it hadn't done its work. So we'll leave that as it is. But we want to thank everyone for chiming in. Let's give people a few more minutes to chime in and see what's going on.
This right here is definitely something that needs to be talked about. The drug epidemic. And Dara, you and I were talking earlier today about one thing begets another thing that begets another thing. Everything is connected when it comes down to it. Of course, I think the first thing is impoverished areas, and they probably start drugs, will more likely start drugs, to kind of take themselves away from their environment and their way of living. Then once it gets to that point where they already don't have a lot anyway, now they have to figure out a way to get these highly addictive drugs to continue to have that high feeling that they've been getting used to. So that begots them doing other questionable acts, other illegal acts, lie, cheating, stealing, and killing. To be honest with you. So everything is connected.
And you're absolutely right, Mike. What really brought this on is we had the incident where the two young ladies from that West Alabama Narcotics arrested just recently, and the outpour or the outrage of the idea that the young lady's bond was set at $3 million compared to people that murder people, bonds sitting at $60,000 or $1 million, whatever it might be. But let's take what I said earlier today, and I'm not able to bring up everything because my phone has control of a lot of the stuff. But today, when I posted it, I also posted the idea that I was sent an article about some people that got arrested in California.
Yeah, 2 men.
2 men. And they had enough fentanyl to kill 4.7 million people.
That's more than Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, that's the size of Memphis 2 times, and I want to say that the size of Los Angeles, California, 2 times, Mike. 4.7 million people. That is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount that, and I got this from a very reliable source. The amount of fentanyl that the young lady had, Mike, from my understanding, she had enough to wipe out the entire District 1 and 2 combined. That's 22,000. No, that's right now, that's 26,000 people with the amount of fentanyl that she had. And we got people concerned about her bond, but let's say the carelessness of her accountability of her drug sales, where we would have seen people dying instantly. We're talking about instantly. And what we're talking about, let's explain to them, Mike, what fentanyl is. A lot of people not really familiar with what fentanyl is. And it's very important that we share this information because it is fentanyl is a synthetic opioid typically used to treat patients with chronic severe pain or severe pain following surgery. So in other words, if you had surgery, they would give you something. Sometimes they give you morphine or something like that. But
Well,
this is
it depends on what surgery they are. Most of the time they give you morphine, and if you have ever been on a morphine drip,
mm-hmm.
you know that a morphine drip, you hit the button, of course you get the morphine. It's almost instantaneous how good you feeling after that.
Right.
But you can't push that button again for a certain time limit.
Right.
So there's a time on it because you can easily overdose on it.
Exactly. Fentanyl
is
is
something that is 100 times stronger than morphine.
100 times more potent than morphine.
And if they have prescribed you fentanyl,
mm-hmm.
and they do prescribe it sparingly, it's for almost a critical patient that's dealing with pain, and they're on their last days really. They're just trying to help you relax on your way to being called home. Hardly ever give you fentanyl. That's to let you know right there. It's just that strong. It's just that dangerous, and it's like the last resort when it comes down to pain medication.
So we got a couple guests on the program with us. We got Christopher Fritz. His comments is saying there's by approximately only 4.75 million people in the state of Alabama. So he's saying, in other words, they had that much.
They had enough to kill the state of Alabama.
The whole amount, everybody in the state of Alabama. And one thing he also bringing out cartel use it to cut narcotics.
Absolutely.
And let's say this. Some of the information I gain is this product is now being brought in by the Mexicans. Everybody used to buy everybody know Mexico is the place you want to get your weed, most of the time. But now, this product, since the United States have states that have legalized marijuana, and people are growing it and harvesting it themselves, that hurts the clientele right there. That hurt it.
I don't know if all of it, because the way I understand a lot of it is actually coming um from actually like the Asian community.
It used
Um,
to. It used to. That's when it was being shipped. You know, you used to get order it yourself, but now you can't. But this is a cheap product. It's from my understanding, you can go to Birmingham and get so many grams for $400, and that $400 will turn into about 2,500 if you break it up in the right amount.
that's correct. I think Daryl, when we were talking about it coming up from Mexico, to go to Mexico right now, with the prescription drug market down there is extremely cheap. So if it's anything like any of the other drugs that pharmaceutical companies send to Mexico, where here in the United States you pay $600-700 for insulin, and you can go to Mexico and get it for like 10 pesos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like that, then uh, what they're saying is, people buying it on the legal side down in Mexico and shipping it up here, making all the money that way. I can see that actually being the case. I think that the actual place is still coming from, the Asian market, but going to Mexico, then it's easier for them to ship it to the United States after that. Regardless of where it's coming from, it's a very, very dangerous drug.
Yes.
And those people that we just talked about, 4 people that had a lot of fentanyl. And then two of them in Alabama, two of them in California.
Mm-hmm.
It was capable of killing, thousands, if not millions of people. Um, when it comes down to it, we looking at a drug that you think, oh, I'm gonna make me some money off, but the absolute fact of the matter is you probably killing most of your clients. They put that in you have people that smoke marijuana, and I said too that generally with marijuana, most people don't have a place to go out there and shoot and kill folks for weed. It's usually people who smoking weed, all they really want to do is chill. They don't even get mad with folks. If they were mad when they smoked before they finished smoking, they, man, forget them. I ain't and all they want to do is get something to eat. But now you starting to lace the weed and the fentanyl,
Mm-hmm.
and they making them lose their mind, if not killing them. So if it don't
Absolutely.
kill them, it's making them go out and kill other folks. So why would you not say, hey, I caught you with this much fentanyl, this is your bone, and we as a people can't keep saying, well, all she had was a little drug. That's not a little drug.
No. She was walking. She was walking around.
She poisoning the community.
She was poisoning the community. She had the capabilities of killing everybody in the state. Where in the West Side, the amount that she had enough to kill the whole West Side District 1 and 2 alone. And these are
Mm-hmm.
facts. These are facts that I gathered during the day about the amount of grams that she had. And as we were talking earlier about the young men out in California that had enough to kill everybody in the state of Alabama. Everybody in the state of Alabama, 4.7 million people. Man, this drug,
With the exception of 50,000.
exception of 50,000.
The thing is, and they probably want to do it. They weren't gonna give it to nobody straight. When it was all set up, they was gonna break it down, and what I'm saying, it was enough to kill 4.7 million. But they probably, after they break it down, had enough for 10 to 12 million people to partake. After they break it down, because they're gonna sprinkle a little bit in weed. They're gonna they're gonna add a little bit to heroin. Now, heroin is a very strong drug in itself. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. So if you gonna add that on to it, now you can boost it up heroin to 150 strength. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you know what I'm saying. That's simply gonna kill you.
I'm reading some of the comments right quick, and then I'm going to let our callers. We got a couple callers on the phone. If y'all like to join this conversation, please call 310-6067, 310-6067. Chris Fritz, well, first let me start off. Curtis Travis said a lot of people dying from overdose, and that is correct. That it is correct. Christopher Fritz said correct with the rampant opioid crisis is cheaper and more readily available and cost effective. So they originally used it to cut heroin, but now they use it on everything from pills, cooches to synthetic weed and everything else. So they grinding it up. They're putting it in your marijuana joints, in your blunts. Curtis Travis went on to say fentanyl was involved in Army students that overdosed on spring break in Florida. Go ahead, Veronica. Talk to us. What you think about this? We got to educate our community a little bit more about this particular drug that's rampantly taking over our community.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder maybe letting people know just what it does will start to change their minds and opinions about people who are caught with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what the bill has said. I don't know. Just after over the past couple of days, just looking at some of the stuff you read on social media,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what our community. It's always you want people to treat you fair. You know, we want people to treat us like we have since the same amount of sense as everybody else. Judge Katanji, Brown Jackson proved that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But you had those men walk out because that lady became the United States Supreme Court Justice.
Yes.
So my thing is, I always say we're targets when it comes to negativity. Though we shouldn't be, and yeah, they're crazy, they're idiots. It's not just to other people; it's to us, to those of us who choose to try to do right. As far as the community goes, what messages do our people, send to each other by always wanting to excuse certain things or downplay it? Well, if they was going to do something, as if they can make the law. If they make the law the way they're saying, then what's going to happen? And I understand that there's a bigger issue of our community being neglected, funds not being spent on our community. But at the end of the day, we each all make our decisions. And the drug dealers saying, well, they chose to get it. But most of the people that do get a little narcotics that cut this, a little weed that's cut with fentanyl, or a little heroin that's cut with fentanyl, they don't even know it. Mm-hmm. It's a stretching mechanism. So most of them don't even know it. But at the end of the day, I still have to say, they're choosing to do the heroin. They're choosing to do the marijuana. And I know a lot of people feel like marijuana should be made legal. But with what's going on right now, who's ever to say you have a legal batch of marijuana being sold to you? And they're really hurting the cause of legalizing marijuana. They can use that as an argument to say, who's to know with what's going on nowadays? This is 2022, and nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to snitch. Nobody wants to tell. Who? And then if you the seller yourself, or you're a major seller, well, you ain't fixing to tell that your boss making you split, that your supplier is making you split it, and your supplier may not be making you split it, but you split it because of the money. So it's all about money. So it becomes a point where I guess our best education is to try to educate people to walk away.
Yes.
To just leave drugs alone, period.
Yes.
And I know, like they say, everybody's going to keep saying, well, we need to legalize marijuana. But how can a person like me who was maybe thinking, okay, with that, how can you justify that when you never know what marijuana would be technically legal? Mm-hmm. Or just marijuana is split up with heroin, rat poison, fentanyl, and whatever else.
And that's the thing, like Curtis Travis said.
Who's going to test it?
He said one time trying can be your last time, and you can be dying from it the next time. Danny Van Horn said, how much revenue would Alabama lose if there was no drug dealing, no incarceration for drug charges, no grants for war on drugs? What campaign promises could politicians make in Alabama? Well, in that case, I think this is a case where we want no drug charges, no campaign promises saying they're gonna put a war against drugs. Man, this we talking about. I think if this drug get in the wrong hands, and I'm gonna give you an example of the wrong hands. A woman in Birmingham, Alabama, a mother in Birmingham, Alabama, left her 2-year-old child with her mother, and that child and that grandmother was not paying attention, allowed that child to get a hold to some of this fentanyl and caused the death of him last year. A lot of these overdoses and instances we don't even know. But you know what? The statistics, as I was telling Mike earlier, I guarantee you a lot of these sudden deaths that we're having right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in one or two cases I know for sure, is drug related to fentanyl. It's drug related to fentanyl. Overdoses. We having a lot of that going on. And we have to, we might not have 20 people might be watching this program tonight, but we all, I'm going to go back to the 80s. We all, as an African American community, had family or friends that were addicted, highly addicted to this drug we knew as crack cocaine in some shape, form, or fashion. We know that crack cocaine caused so much disparity in families, friendships, people losing their jobs, losing their families, losing their lives, committing crimes that they normally wouldn't commit because of that drug crack. But
things out of care.
And you know what? And you know what, Darryl? Like the baby that got hold to it. Mm-hmm. I bet you most of everybody who's complaining about the girl's bond would say, "Oh, they need to get her mom and her grandma for that."
Exactly, and that's where the mother didn't have anything other than leaving the grandmother with the child, and that's what I'm saying. We can't continue. This lady was. Let's put it this way. Okay, they didn't die. We don't know of anyone that she actually killed because of her possession of that drug. But she had potential of what I'm saying, what we call it, attempted murder. That's basically, I'm looking at attempted murder because she know too much of this drug can kill someone.
6 degrees separation. Hey, Daryl, we do have Tim on the line.
Let's talk.
Man, I mean, let's just say, if why is the drug dealer a bad guy? Let me ask that question. Why is the drug dealer a bad guy?
In this particular case, because in this particular case, she's providing a drug that is possibly can kill 24,000 people.
Hold on, now we're talking about what the people that was from the other day?
Yes.
Well. I'm glad.
It's not just the drug dealer though, Tim.
Hold on. Now I don't know now, but let me give you some insight. I mean, not no inside, but let me give you what I heard, from my sources. From my little sources that I've heard is damn near all the cases gonna get kicked out. That's from my side. I'm just saying what I heard. Now, what I heard was none of the pills are real. The fentanyl is not real, and some of the other stuff was ordered off of what is it everybody order from? You order everything, all your goods, everything. Yeah. Now this is what I was told. Now this is what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was told. That the pills, all the different pills they have are powder. Like ain't no drugs in them.
Sugar powder. Well, sugar.
But if that's the case, I'm gonna say this. If that's the case, she was shanked against. Her intention was there, but that's gonna probably get thrown out if that's the case because it's not illegal.
There's a charge for imitation drugs
That's
too.
what I'm telling y'all. Like, no, man, you have to be careful when you saying, okay, for like, I mean, because it just say her. She don't necessarily know what's in it. She's just buying it for somebody else. Just like when you go to the pharmacy and buy pills, it's the same thing. You don't know what's in it. You just trying to make another dollar to do what you need to do.
Tim,
But as bad as it is on our community,
Tim, let me say this
at
right
what
here.
point
Let's think about it.
when do we stop blaming us? When do we get the problem taken care of?
How she didn't know? She didn't know. So if she didn't know and it's not legal, it's illegal. It's probably going to get thrown out. But we're saying her intention was there to be get sell this illegal drug.
Do we? Because when she had all that stuff, her intent was to flip that and make money off of it for what she thought it was.
Come on now. Come on, y'all.
You can't give everybody that kind of benefit of the doubt.
Come on, y'all. You know that stuff did not belong to that girl.
Tim.
But that's just like Section 8. Don't let that man live with you. It's going to get you put out.
Come on, Tim. Come on now.
If you just get to a basic part of it.
And I feel what y'all saying, but this is what I'm saying right here. The perfect example. Do you see the crime and the violence in our community? Mm-hmm. Do you see how they talking about these prescription drugs for the last few years? Our community, our people like this right here. This is what they like. That's why I just call, now I'll just be honest with you. Now I just call in to educate. I'm not expecting nothing to come out of it. I just call in and try to educate as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Put a little character on a little bit. But that's about it because, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth. And it's just not me saying it. Everybody I'm talking to now is saying it.
We agree.
The community ain't going to get up. They ain't going to give a dollar. Nothing is going to happen but what's happening now. And I hate to say that, but we see that. All we're going to push is the same agenda that the people we saying we against. We pushing the same agenda they are pushing. Fill up that prison system. We're not talking about rehabilitation in no type of way. We're not talking about rehabilitation in no type of way.
You know what?
I don't think that's what it is. I think we're attacking issues that come up, and her particular issue was out of the ordinary for right now. It's not out of the ordinary nationwide, but it's out of the ordinary right now. And I get exactly what you're saying, but they're not going to. It's out of the ordinary. It don't happen every day here. It happens some places every day.
What you mean? Cleveland, bus like that?
I'm saying somebody getting bus like that put on Front Street don't happen in Tuscaloosa every day. People getting bus happen in Tuscaloosa every day, but somebody getting bus like that in Tuscaloosa, it hasn't happened every day. So what I'm saying is, if you want to take a case by case basis, which I feel like that's how everything should be, honestly, case by case. But with her case, if it turns out that all of this is just like I said, just power.
All of it. I'm not saying all of it. I'm not saying.
I'm just saying, okay, I get your point. Saying it doesn't matter if one bad is or all of it. If it turns out to be that, then she's a perfect example of prehabilitation, which you're saying. Because with her intent was what it was. We cannot deny her intent. And I understand what you say, don't us turn on each other. But at some point, when do people take accountability? When do you grow into accountability?
I'm glad you just saying that. What happened to, we ain't heard enough about Maccabee's son out there on the university. His grandson out there on the university got caught with all this.
I get what you're saying, but we know how the world is. It's going to always be that way, to be honest. History repeats itself. It's going to always be that way.
That's the problem. That's what we have lost.
We've been fighting it, but we think that we're not fighting it, though. We've been fighting it.
But we are brothers keeping this
situation. Listen what I'm saying. Just listen to this part. We keep saying when it's convenient for us, we say that's just the way it is. Well, because we say that's just the way it is, when we feel like it's nothing we can do. Well, the young people, the street people feel like that's just the way it is. They don't care. Hey, throw that pistol, that's just the way it is.
And we
The difference
adapted
is
that,
we care though.
but we
Some people, like
adapted
you
to
say, they
that,
don't
Tim.
care.
Tim,
The
we
difference is that we care.
Tim, we adapted to that.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Hey man, I don't
I can't see a person doing that. I mean, I can't see a person that care. I ain't gonna say none of them care, Tim, because like you said,
when I told George, when I told George, Ron, and this might sound crazy, and if my partner tell you this, I got a partner that'll tell you this. I'm talking about like the rock jewels when we stay in Georgia. And I wouldn't say on the pregnant women, period. Period. That was just my thing. Period. But did that make me
said that was your thing.
Did it make me good? Does it make me better than the next drug dealer?
You got to start somewhere. It mean you had something. Tim, it didn't make you good, but what it made you is it made you have some standards, and you have to start somewhere. And like you said, we can't compare it to what they're gonna do to Tommy, because we know we keep fighting. We're not gonna stop fighting for equality, but we still can't just compare it to what they did to Tommy. Well, I'm saying everything that you say, I think we all have agreed with during the past couple of weeks. But what I'm saying is, at what point do individuals? We ain't dummies. We're not. Don't let us be the clowns they want us to be. At what point do we take some personal self accountability? Why aren't we shouldn't be looking at down at ourselves like that.
But it don't work because it's not going to fix it. And that's what just my opinion, the easy way out for us all the time when it gets too heated. I'm not saying you, I'm saying as a whole. When it gets too heated, what the teachers used to say. Well, I know some teachers I had, but I had some great teachers, but I'm talking about some of the other teachers I used to have. What they used to say. But I got mine, so I don't care if you get yours or not. When it get heated.
When it get heated, you got people like us that's on this phone right now. When it get heated, we don't just go there. We get frustrated and disgusted, but we don't throw our hands up.
But this is what I'm saying, Veronica. Like, and you're right, and I'm not like I'm saying, I salute all y'all. But this is what I'm saying, Veronica. It's I'm talking about for me. I'm not gonna say a lose the battle. I'm not gonna say that. But it gotta be something else.
Tim.
It gotta be something. See, I don't even.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't like to say it about the community because I don't, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to knock my community because I understand our psychological damage. I understand all of that. Even most of the people don't even think they damage psychologically, but I understand all of that.
Tim.
But like that's just like what we don't do. Like we lost.
So
we have no what our community.
But that always goes what you said though, Tim. You can't get 100 women right now. Everybody say if they ain't got no money. Okay, well I can do money. We can't get 100 people to do the time.
We get you. We don't allow them to arrest and imprison people. I mean, what we gonna do? That's what I'm saying. When is it gonna come enough to where we don't? Because people love to keep hollering about marching. I'm not gonna march, not marching.
Ain't nobody talking about marching tonight.
When are we gonna get together and so we can march on Montgomery or what? We got to do something. That's all I'm saying.
Tim, I promise you, we march down in Montgomery for legislation. I ain't talking about just the march on the street. You know what I'm saying, for the cause. I get what you're saying. Everything's gonna be legislation. We talk about that all the time. It takes the legislation. And look, and we fighting about it. Like you said, you hate to say it's a losing battle. But I'm gonna say it. Sometimes it is a losing battle, but we got to make it so it's not losing. Tim, we just had a black woman become the United States Justice of the United States Supreme Court. You know they did. They walk off. And I don't care what they think about that woman. She black.
We won that war.
These white men walk out of the chamber.
We won that battle right there.
But this is the thing, though. And people are not gonna like this. People are not gonna like this, and I really don't even like to be on this subject because it's another subject that divides us, but it's something that's the truth. A black man, a black politician, that high as she is, or the POTUS or whatever, cannot be black with a white wife, and y'all gonna support it. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen no type of way.
We're not gonna change the subject. We're not gonna change the subject right now.
If he didn't have enough love to marry a black woman.
Well, we're not gonna change the subject.
It's all white. It's
No,
all
no, no,
white
no.
men and women married each other in this community that love the community, and there's some black folks that love the community.
I didn't say you didn't. But see, this is my thing. I don't have a problem with black and white people with each other, but
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
Hello? Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother? I went down to Thomas Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie. And I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back, guys. We're back. Hold on one second. One thing in this tonight, what I want to share. We have a lot of people that don't even know this drug even exists, and they're watching. And what I wanted to do tonight is educate them about this particular drug, because we got a lot of young people that living with their grandparents, living with smaller children. Regardless if the perpetrator is a higher up or a lower party person, tonight I want to educate them about this, because see, when crack hit the scene, it affected people's lives. This drug is killing people to the point that they don't know why. In other words, the overdose can take place, but nobody knows why and don't know what it was. All they know is they were smoking marijuana, and the next thing you know, somebody's falling out.
And even some of that synthetic stuff that we've been, even people talking about the spice and everything. The reason why that stuff is so popular and strong is because of the feeling that it gives you when you smoke it. Now, personally, I've never smoked any, and I've never did anything. But I've known people to do a lot of illicit drugs, and it's all about chasing that high, and fentanyl is that drug that they put in that stuff to spread it out, to make it go a little bit further, and also give you that little boost. Once again, this stuff is 100 times stronger than morphine. When you take morphine, and I don't know if anybody has ever had to take morphine. I have. If you were in pain and you push that button for that morphine drop, you feeling like you actually feel like you floating. Yeah, you do. You don't feel no pain at all. But for real, you don't know what you're feeling. That's how far gone you feel when you take a morphine. That's why you can't. Veronica, am I right in saying it's like 45 minutes in between each push?
It depends on the severity and the pain level, but they're definitely not going to tell you before 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to probably be 45.
Like 30, 45 minutes.
Hey, Mike, ask Chris Frisch to call in. He can school you. Like, he can school us on it. Like,
you tuned in right now?
Yeah, he's tuned in.
I know, that was him on the thing with you. Chris, if you listen to us, go and call in and school everybody, bro. Gary,
Please, if you about this, you tuning in, 205-310-6067. Give us a call.
No,
and honestly and truly, to know about it is that it just affects your dopamine. It's gonna it's gonna flood your mind with dopamine. Some people it's gonna relax you because of the pain. Like a lot of times people say you do marijuana, you just want to relax and chill. Well, some of these Schedule 2 opioids, they're gonna relax you as well, but they're gonna play a game with your dopamine. So when your dopamine gets like that, you're confused. You're confused. Just to make it simple and easy, you're confused. So you're doing things that you probably would not do. Okay. You probably normally don't. You definitely would not do. It plays on the dopamine, and the dopamine is going to overcrowd your brain centers.
There you go. Miss Veronica. Mm-hmm. Can you hear me? Please do me a favor. Because you just went into something that I promise you I was going to ask you about anyway. Start that from the beginning. I mean, like, explain what the dopamines are inside, anybody. Explain what the dopamine, what they are, what they're for, and then explain what you was just saying about. So that could be, let me say this, and then you kind of, am I right? So that is, that when we're saying that the different pills, since them X pills started years ago down there, and the violence started going up. So that really could be, and not just a guess, that really could be the reason the violence amongst those black boys that pop those, they be so violent, at one moment, then the next day they don't even know what they did.
Exactly.
It's a neurotransmitter. It sends signals. It's a chemical. Our body makes it, but our body, unless you have like some kind of condition that causes you to make too little or less, our body makes it. It's just chemically released in the brain. It makes you feel good. That's what dopamine does. It makes you feel good. But when you have that overrush, you have that overthrust of it. Feeling good becomes confusion, anxiety, nauseous. Just it becomes some of the things that you see the people doing in the streets when you hear they've had an OD, when they've OD. So it's neurotransmitters that our brain that makes anyway. But your body's only supposed to have so much. So when you get these drugs like this, affecting your brain, your body, your nervous system, and you get into this fight or flight, a lot of people, it's just like when you see a dog, you get into fight or flight. Well, just imagine a drug putting you into a fight or flight for no reason other than that drug has just overwhelmed your body and your brain.
The number again, Chris.
It's a chemical. It makes you feel good, but you just think about taking all of that all of that into your brain, and trying to control just this. It don't have to be an OD. Like I said, some of these people on OD and as I have committing these things, it's gonna affect your behavior, basically.
Can make you schizophrenic. Like you thinking things that's happening that maybe not happen.
But okay, well, that's crazy. But did you know most of the drugs, and I know this because I take care of my father, and I had to start doing some research, and this is crazy. Most of the drugs that's used to treat schizophrenia, different mental disorders, they cause mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're trying to regulate your hormones. Basically, it boils down to the simplest way: your hormones. Your hormones are just they're out of whack. and you have to get these drugs to try to regulate. That's why doctors tend to say, okay, I can increase it. Like a lot of times when people say don't play with the medicine, because see the doctor honestly is playing with it himself. Not because he's choosing to play with it, but sometimes you may get on something and it may be because of other things going on with your body, or just because of that drug may be too much for you at that dose. And it sometimes takes you and your family members to say, I just don't feel right. He just don't feel right. So he has to taper it down. And once if he's giving you say 500 milligrams for 5 days, and that's what your body's got used to, even though it's not responding correctly, he still has to taper it down. It may come down to 250 for 3 days, 150 to get you where you need to be. That's why they're sending you for lab tests. Mm-hmm. So just imagine people who dealing in these drugs, they ain't getting these lab tests. Exactly. It's illicit drugs, so it's not legal. They're not getting it the legal way for somebody who's monitoring this.
All the problems we have, I mean, not all of them, but all those type of problems, is centered around, like, for instance, good employment, benefits, not just a living wage, no, to be able to make, it cuts a lot of that out, man. It cuts a whole lot of stuff out. That's why what I be telling y'all now, it's so important about, the money is important. The reason the money is important because most of the people that's doing what they're doing it for the money.
Well, Tim,
and to provide that help. I get what you're saying with the money, right. To provide that help that they need on the level that is needed, it takes money.
At the beginning of the broadcast tonight, it was said that one thing begets the other thing that begets the other thing.
Right.
Poverty begets drug use, and drug use begets the other illegal activities that come from drug use. Either it's because you're doing something to get that next hit. I need to make some more money to do that. I'm trying to make money so that I can get out of this poverty. Most drug dealers start selling drugs because they're not in a good spot where they at. They see a mama working all the time and she tired and she barely got enough to feed us. And and a lot of them are real and protective of their family. So I'm the oldest son. I got to go out here and make this lick so I can take care of my little brothers and sisters. This is the quickest way to do it. And once again, hey, I only got, $200 to buy me some weed, but I can buy me $100 worth of weed, $100 worth of fentanyl, and I can stretch my weed out to make a couple of $1,000 after the fact. Everybody gonna keep coming back to me for my weed. Now I can keep on flipping. For long, I'm making easy money until I get caught with all this stuff. And of course, the biggest people who selling the stuff, they never touch it. So they never around it. They never around it.
Yeah, but I don't even understand. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't understand it, but I mean, if we see the drug dealing is never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. As long as we have poverty, as long as you have people that are on drugs, addicted to drugs, and that choose to use drugs, it's never gonna stop. It's like with marijuana. What happens when you just legalize? Hey, let's just legalize it again. You know what? And it sounds so crazy. Everybody's like, "Oh, that'd be so crazy when people say that." Legalize crack and cocaine. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Why is it crazy? When you legalize it, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna eliminate the amount of drug dealers. Number one. It's gonna eliminate the amount of drug dealers because everybody can sell it. It's not illegal. It's nothing secret. The price gonna go all the way down. Mm-hmm. It's gonna slowly take it down. It's no different than, cigarettes is the worst drug we have.
It's no different than bootleggers when they were selling on Sundays. You rarely see a bootlegger right now.
Right.
So
but I agree. We gotta come with something, man.
I can agree with you on that part. It
eliminates. That's where we go back to the legislation. What legislation is going to do that? Because like you said, it's going to drive the price down. When the price goes down, the demand goes down, the price goes down. So it's going to be driven down. But there are always, like you said, Tim, going to be those drug dealers getting that new thing that, you know what I'm saying, that's not legal. They're trying to get that pop, that new thing. It's always going to be that menace to society that's trying to pop that new thing. But like you said, if we get tackle what we got going on right now and you could legalize some of that stuff, it's going to drive down demand. It's going to drive down the cost of it. You ain't making what you make. And some people going to be like, well, we'll just sell more. How you selling more when people really can get it is easy as 1, 2, 3. So some of this stuff needs to be legalized. But like you were saying before you called, okay, once you legalize marijuana, you know they're not gonna. I'm just gonna say they're not gonna legalize crack or heroin and stuff like that because they're not gonna do it. But as soon as you do that, then how do you know? Okay, it's supposed to be marijuana. Then you're gonna have somebody that's gonna mess that up because they're gonna put it. They're already cutting it into the marijuana without the people knowing. So that's my thing. A lot of the people that put in the marijuana getting something else and they don't even know it. They're the ones who walking down the street tearing their clothes off.
What's the thing about the marijuana though? Once it's legalized, like in other, for instance, in Colorado, California, just a lot of the cities. Once the marijuana is legalized, and you go through your process to sell it, you, me, anybody, you go through your process to get your paperwork. Guess what happens? Now we'll open up trap house, legal trap houses, which is cool, marijuana shops. Everybody got it. So guess what happens then? It's got a stamp on it. You going through your state, your city, your government. Guess what happens then? The boy on the corner with the pack, he out of business. What I'm going to, because this is common sense. Why am I going to take a chance on going to get something that might not even be what it is when I can just go to the regular store and get it?
But look, let me read this article right quick, and this,
you know what I mean? That's what legalizing marijuana would do. That's what would do.
Let me just read this, and this is basically what we're saying. We all saying, and then this is a true story up in Jefferson County. Police found Bailey in a house in Jefferson Avenue in Birmingham after responding to a call of a suspected drug overdose death. According to a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office, witnesses in the case stated Bailey had been purchasing heroin from Pearson and that he likely substituted the fentanyl, which was found in her system, for heroin. See, that's what I'm saying. People think they're getting heroin.
I think what Tim was saying is right, but I'm like that too. There is going to be somebody, because like I said, there's always that menace to society.
Mm-hmm.
It could be packaged up just right. But you know they're going to put the label on it.
Listen, y'all. Listen to what y'all are saying. Listen to what y'all are saying now. So you telling me a drug dealer, a drug dealer. We're talking about a person that makes a living from selling drugs. You're telling me that a drug dealer is purposely gonna kill his clients
because he don't have that particular.
Because they're trying to provide that extra high.
They don't have that knowledge of what.
People gonna know when they ain't got that good marijuana.
What I'm telling you is your local hustler, your local corner, the one that's in the hand, they don't know. They don't know what's in there. They're the one gonna take the hard hit with the time, but they don't know.
Okay,
but Tim, my argument would be
addicted to drugs. Because you know, Tim, everybody's addicted to drugs. Most of them not getting no help. So what I'm saying is, the people who want true marijuana, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hit them in the pockets to be able to get access to that true marijuana. But you're gonna have some joker out there with the access to the true marijuana. You know, it's always a side scheme and a hustle. It's just like when you weren't buying food, still boot no more. You still buying the car. You know it's gonna be somebody, because there's gonna be some people who use drugs who this ain't never marijuana. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? It's gonna be that little joker, that menace somewhere that then bought up all those packs with the labels and then put some in it just so we can be able to sell it. So I'm saying it's gonna always be here, but what you're saying will help bring down the numbers of those who are using it, who probably being killed, and those being incarcerated. Good.
I mean.
Because like you said, it's going to always be here. That may bring the numbers down, but we would have to see, and it would have to be legalized, and it's not legal.
I think you have to look at it like with cigarettes, for instance. When they legalize cigarettes, and now you don't really see anybody else slanging tobacco on the side. Because they get people that go into the store and buy a few packs of cigarettes and sell them singles for like 50 cents.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Mike, because my partner was just on the phone today talking about, man, cigarettes $10. They're going to have to get some cartridges and start selling the Lucy. So, I mean, there you go. So that drug is about to be I mean, that's about to be a drug again. And $10 a pack.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be a way to make it to where it's hurtful, but I think there has to be a start to get these numbers down as far as who's doing it, who's getting busted for, who's being sent through the pipeline first.
Okay. No, the pipeline. I think pipeline. You don't have people that are going to be out there selling that's just a hustler spirit. They're going to be out there trying to sell a Lucy for 50 cents or whatever. Because a person ain't going to be able to buy a whole pack, but they want a cigarette. I can scrounge up 50 cents, quicker than I can, sell $8 for a pack. So, they're going to buy 2 or 3 cigarettes at a time. Matter of fact, you go to some of these A-Rap stores and they'll sell you a couple of loose.
Yeah.
And that's just it. They just figure out a way to make the money off that. The same thing it's basically what a bootlegger do all in themselves. They go to the ABC store or the package store and buy a liquor, and you come over there and you get you a shot. And usually, and it was a big thing when it was illegal to have Sunday alcohol sales. And then, hey, I won't get a drink today. I'm gonna go over here to the blue house or the green house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who the bootlegger was. They go over there and get them a shot.
Y'all, as easy as it sounds, I think with all the things that we thinking about, all the scenarios that we coming up with, just like Tim said, if what's true is true with the young lady, and that means somebody put it out there. So if it is true, the good thing that didn't sell her down the road. You know what I'm saying? But each situation will be different. But when we talking about trying to do this as a whole with society, with the prehabilitation, what he said is what we're gonna have to work with. It's just where you may have to start. Like you said, Tim, where do we start? I think it's the prehabilitation.
And I'm telling y'all already see, y'all know it, all kids on drugs. But where is where is a drug center? People. We got a drug center in the heart of the west side, but it ain't us there.
We've been talking about that. Actually, I think we said something about that last year. Daryl brought up the fact that I think Bradford was the only drug and substance abuse center, and that's on the other side of Birmingham. Why don't Tuscaloosa have one? And this is a college town. Now we ain't just gonna just keep it to the University of Alabama. Goodness gracious, we got still in the college, and we got
young people. Period. We got parents, grown-ups every day that's stressed out.
I was just saying that to make a point, like for them, if they try to say that, it's not big enough, that's not true. And we have people that come in all the time that's bringing extra drugs in here. A lot of these students, they're taking, and you brought up something about ADHD and psych meds. They're taking this stuff just to keep themselves awake so they can stay focused in class. And they don't need it. That's let you know how drugs is out there right now, and people are taking this stuff. This stuff right here giving me an edge in school. Yeah. This, you know what I'm saying?
That's another reason some parents are so adamant not to put their kids on that stuff. When it first started and you didn't know that about it, people like, well, okay, if he's not gonna be bad, he's not gonna be in trouble. But then you start realizing some of those people that take that on a regular basis like that, get so addicted to it. Then, like I said, the doctor has to taper it down, trying to get them off of it, or they become labeled, and it's like they can't be tapered. So our community fights with a lot, and we don't get any resources. So like Tina said, we got to find a way to get resources, because then you got some of those kids that maybe have taken those drugs for ADHD or whatever, and whatever kind of feeling it gave them. Once they age out, but they become the adults, they're doing the same thing to them. Then they're trying to talking about, they maybe they need this, and next thing you know, it's about the money, an easy check for some people, and everybody don't want an easy check. You have some kids that don't want to take the medicine their parents give it to them. But then those who do get so, or their body gets so addicted to it, so prone to have it, if they can't get it anymore through the prescription, they're gonna find the next best illegal thing on the streets. So it's just like when you were in Chicago. It's my folks in one part of Chicago, you going to the clink. You get caught with whatever. But then you got the other folks on the other side of the track who walking to the jail, turn it over, all the paraphernalia, all of it. Oh, we're gonna put them in a rehab facility. And it's not always all the other color because some of the other color was over, with the fellas with the homies because they couldn't afford it because of where they came from. But you come from a certain background and your skin look a certain way, you can go in there, turn it in, no questions asked. No questions asked. And it's not just like when we do it in Tuscaloosa, where you had a day when you turn over, you had a day or two in the year where you can turn over prescription drugs or drugs or guns and no questions asked. This is like an everyday. So those same legislatures and same people making the decision to let them people walk in and turn stuff in, why aren't they doing the same thing for our people? So it's a lot of stuff need to be done, and some investigations need to be done because at the end of the day, that's outright illegal. How you allow these people to be able to come in, Tony, Anthony, and come in, and he getting a charge, and he get onto the clinic. But Tommy comes and turns in, and he has to sign this, that, and that, and show up for rehab.
Well, I think that our judicial system should, or especially when they call themselves to lock somebody up. What's the purpose of them not? If you are drug in for some sort of drug charge, what's the purpose of them not ordering you to do rehab while you're incarcerated? Get some sort of getting rehab and counseling, because when you get back out, now everybody don't have the luxury of moving away from where they was at their whole entire time. If you're going back out, you're going directly back into the same environment that you just left from, and all your friends are still out there, and the only thing they want, man, you out there, we're gonna go ahead and get you. The temptation is real.
But even let me show y'all how much of a game it is, man. Let me tell y'all a game. That's why, and I don't be trying to be disrespectful or anything. When I be like with Miss Deborah, when I was trying to tell her, hey man, I don't care how many people you know, if you have not personally been through these things that you're speaking of, you would never understand. Let me show y'all something. I went to prison 30 years ago. Everybody knows. Anybody that knew me knows I didn't take no type of drugs. I didn't drink, nothing coming up. Never. So when I went to prison, you have to take a SAP program and some other programs. Even though I'm constantly telling these people, hey man, I was not on any type of drugs. Yes, you were. You're going to have to take a program before you can get out. But I was not on any type of drug. You understand? The numbers, they have to have you in those classes to get those federal dollars for those programs inside. It's the same thing on the outside. That's why we just keep losing, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. First of all, if we don't organize, we got to organize first. We got to organize, and then we got to sit down and strategize. It's not about who's who or the big head, or like for instance, like Jerry Carter. I heard the other day when I seen him and Matthew going back and forth. Jerry Carter, you know better than that. You know better than that. And I know you listening, you know better than that. You was the president of the whatever NAACP. That's how you carry yourself. You know better than that. You're supposed to be a professional person that stand up for the people. You know better than that. But that's what I'm saying. Back to the stuff. That's what I'm saying, y'all. We got to organize and pick a fight. It's a wildfire in the community right there in Tuscaloosa. There's so many fires. And it's just a few people that's trying to fan each fire. All the fires. But we keep helping the fires get bigger by spraying water, helping people spray water on the solutions that each one would have. I don't, again, my way is not going to work for everybody. I'm only aimed at a certain section of people, a certain type of people. My program is only aimed at a certain section of a certain type. Lisa's gonna have to do something. Mike's got to do something. Daryl got everybody's idea will work if they're aimed at the type of people they're at. And that's all I'm saying. Like, no, and it's gonna take what we talking about is gonna take time and money. And the only way we're gonna get time from people if we got money to pay them. If we don't have money to pay them, they don't have the time. And I don't be wanting to give simple things away, man, because I know a whole lot of people listening to us, regardless what regardless what we think. A whole lot of people are listening to us. They're listening to this nuggets. A lot of people listening to take everything we say and they sitting somewhere trying to piece it together so they can come out with what we all talking about. We're gonna always lose when people from the outside come into community to try to fix the problems that we have.
I absolutely agree with you, Tim. I actually said that earlier today. There's no one way to fix any. We got so many different problems, and the problem I think that we all have as the adults, and the major thing is we got a whole lot of people that want to be head chief and nobody that want to follow. Yeah. And we don't listen to each other. And that tends to be the case in a lot of things. We don't tend to listen to each other. We always want to get our point across. We feel like, okay, well, you're not hearing what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to let each other talk. We can't talk amongst above each other.
Right.
And one thing about it, Mike, though, we get passionate and we do that, but then we notice it. We realize that's because we're not self-serving. You know, when we start getting passionate about something, we realize and immediately pull it back. Or one of us tell each other, you know, you got to pull back because we're not self-serving. But it's like Tom said, so somebody catching the numbers.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things in our community is also, at one time, it was more of a village than it was the community. You knew everybody that stayed on the street, on the block. And kids were held accountable by everybody on that block. Everybody was held accountable. So you couldn't come in that block doing certain things. A lot of times they handled it themselves. And if they had to call law enforcement, then they had people to speak up on it. Now it's more of a, no, they'll bring this stuff over here, I'm fine. I won't get involved. Well, shoot, that's them over there. You know, that's the kind of mentality a lot of folks have now. And, you know what I'm saying, that's not a village mentality. That's just my opinion. Some folks don't even know who their neighbors are.
I don't.
That's true.
I just, like I said, man, we don't, all people ain't got to fight no more. They don't, I mean, they ain't got to fight them. It seems like just people think we just every week jump on this. Hey man, I mean, like I'm.
Can I say this real quick before? I think that the fight got kind of pushed down in our people in the 80s and 90s because they seem to accept people of our color a lot more. And all of that went to the wayside when we had a black man who had the audacity to run for president and win presidency. And that's what sparked up this Tea Party movement. That's what sparked up all this other stuff that we got going on today. Because, oh no, we can't have another one of them.
But Mike, I don't have a problem with that though, Mike. I mean, like what they doing. I don't. That's like I tell people about the KKK. Hey man, as long as you ain't touched my people, I ain't got a problem. But then if we don't just go ahead and put it on some gangster stuff, then I can't really have a problem with them because they riding for what they believe. I got to have a problem with the people that they're riding on that's not riding back on them.
Like I said, that's why I think the fight from the African American community went to.
Right.
Is that they had become so complacent in the 80s and 90s.
I say it every day. I post about it. Our people become complacent when things get okay or decent, fair, or what we perceive or feel is decent or fair. And that's not fair, but decent. It complacency sets in.
It's not
But
all.
what are we just talk to look alone, y'all? What's wrong?
Against itself, and they learn to do that, and that's exactly what our people do more so than often than not. So they don't have to work the Ku Klux Klan. Really, you don't have to worry about them because we turned against ourselves.
But that was the way.
Do it. We just don't do it on a gangster level. You can open a doggone restaurant. You can open a business. Period. Your folks don't speak down about you. It's that mentality. They have changed and redirected our whole mentality. We know about the 60s and how they got together and how they stuck together and got what they wanted by marching, by getting together and operating and doing things together. We know about the history of the Indians who started their own government and got what they believed to get out of the government. But have we done that? No. We had one Black Wall Street. And when we try to be a man,
But this is the thing. Why should we build another one? Why are we making? Why do we never hold anybody accountable for what they do to black people except for black people? See, when we talking about we tear each other down, we got to add ourselves because we not holding nobody accountable. We not holding nobody accountable outside of black.
When I say they turned us against one another. I'm not talking nothing.
Right. But I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't even, like, and based just on Tuscaloosa, y'all. Again, based on just Tuscaloosa, where everybody's at, again, I'm asking, man, what are we gonna do? Like, honestly, what are we gonna do? I mean, they can just come and take whatever they want. They can just split the line, and this is not Tuscaloosa as everyone, but in Tuscaloosa, I seen somebody posted that Tuscaloosa is rated number 21 per capita with the murder rate. So, what type of effect is this gonna have on the enrollment at the University of Alabama? There. Because you was a police officer, so you understand crime is statistics.
I didn't see it as number 21. I know they gave a countdown, but I didn't know if it was number 21 or not. But it's going to cause some issues. It's causing issues, and this is one of those issues that we got to talk about too, because this particular drug is going to sneak up on our community. And we're going to be doing just like we did at COVID, having funerals after funerals after funerals after funerals after funerals. And I'm going to say this. If it's my brother or my sister caught selling it and giving it to the community, I'm going to say lock his or her ass up. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. Fentanyl has no place, man. It has no place in the period. Like, no, man.
I sent you a comment. Read that comment.
And I'm gonna have some issues, man. Kyle.
Yeah, it's harassment again.
And so I've been trying to see what was going on with it. I went and checked my little module and my Wi-Fi router.
We got to do something. I mean, that's all what the Mojo did, the twice. And we didn't do that, and it's still killing people in the community down there. What are you doing nothing about it?
But if you can't read it, I'll just tell you what I said.
You talking about the fentanyl was first created?
Mm-hmm. It's like people just get quiet about it, but it's not gone.
We know it came through the Arab stores. We know it came through the Arab stores. We're not trying to close none down. I remember the Arab store opened across the street where they call it Winston's. I remember when that store opened. Me and Alfonso Tucker called a meeting with the two city councilmen that was in that seat. We went to meet with them. Do you know what they told us? We said we don't feel comfortable and this store should be here, selling different things and other stuff. They told us that Those people have a right to apply for a business license just like everybody else.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's true, but they allow them to get away with a lot more too.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Because like I said, it's not even about them their right to apply for the business license. It's what they're doing.
And what's going on. So that's what I'm saying. How can we win, y'all? How can we win?
Right now, and see how you can't. Anybody else who had a store with the stuff that they have in those stores, in the aisles like they have it in there, the fire marshal would have ticketed in and probably shut them down because they got too much stuff in there. There's a fire hazard if the fire would catch up. But go in there and ask them, do they sell something and they don't sell it that day? Next week they're gonna have it in there. And they're gonna figure out a way to put it in there and not stop selling something else.
But still, we got to come up with this answer, with the solution, or with what's going to be done. We know the money is not there. We know the community is not going to put it up. We know the black organizations in the community is not going to do anything. What are we going to do? We still talking about, we're approaching, we almost, like, honestly, y'all, all the jokes aside, we 60 days from the summer. We almost 60 days from the summer. One thing we always know, every summer is violent. Each summer has gotten more violent. We 60 days from the summer. Can we not, and we know the councilman listening, like I said, all we gotta do is say something, and then people gonna call in, are they listening? Can we get 500,000? I'm not just talking about me. I'm not just talking about my organization. Mm-hmm. Can we get at least $500,000 to try to do something for the summer? Take $500,000. I'm gonna give you one. Take 500,000, split it up, pay people to patrol the highest spot where the murder and where the most activity go on. Just do it for the summer. Take 500,000, bust down, put people on the base here. Understand? I mean, what else? Every solution we come up with, somebody says it's not gonna work, or it's no good. So what are we gonna do, y'all? And I'm not concerned about nothing else, but y'all the people that's out there dying. That's what I'm talking about. And the innocent people that's been hitting, the people that's going to prison. Talk is all good, but what are we gonna do? When are we gonna stop it? What can we do?
I said it today, Tim. I said that what they want to happen is for us in the community put something together. And once they see there's some people that came around it, you gonna get those people. I ain't gonna name no names because they say I be calling folks out for this.
How can you do that?
Like, I'm just saying. But certain people are gonna be like, oh, it's a bunch of folks over here. Let me show my face.
That's the way it works.
And jump up in front of everything and talk as though I pulled this together and I set this all in motion. Give me the credit for this.
We need something done. I mean, we need again, y'all. A lot of people, younger people,
what I'm saying though, Tim, is we ain't have to put it together for them first, and then they'll probably throw some money in so they can get the credit. They gonna want the credit. I don't care if they get the credit or not.
Who cares? They get the credit long as they don't crush, long as they don't ruin the program. Because a lot of times those type of people they look out to ruin things too. But they can't work. You know what I'm saying? They can't work if they didn't initiate it. So you have to be really careful about who it is, because a lot of them throw that money in there. Okay, what were you when we were talking about this, going back and forth, week, months? What were you? And like Tim said, what were you there when we sat down and strategized? What were you then?
Daryl still on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I think he probably checking.
He's working on this feed. I think that we good on YouTube. I just think it's a Facebook thing.
Daryl, let me ask you something, because I think you should know this, and I mean, not just because you're police, but because your wife was a counselor. So let me ask you this. What can't the community, just say a community, somebody called me yesterday. Again, as I keep telling y'all about a community, create a community organization. So why couldn't the community call a meeting with the millionaire developers that own so much in the city and actually developers to fund one or more of the mission.
Excellent fun. What now?
To fund a program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I mean,
all I can say is no. Then you go to the next
I don't think that. Really, should I think no one has ever has probably even thought about that. Because like we were talking to Tina Tuesday, and she got a proposal ready to go.
yeah.
And she was ready to talk to and tried to go the appropriate way and run it by the city council and the mayor. And the only thing she got was the lip service, like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Right.
I want to hear more about this, and then they completely ghosted her after the fact.
That's my partner. That's what I'm
I know from experience that's how it goes.
That's my partner. Me and her started an organization called Us First Community Action Organization in Tuscaloosa. Me and this singer tight. That's what I'm telling you. She's not lying. She's not lying about that.
No, she's not. Like I said, I personally have gone through that same type of thing with certain people.
That's right. That's right.
Trying to get my initiative off the ground.
So it just almost seems like if you're not kissing boots, and we're gonna be real, it almost, and I really don't want to use the other analogy, but it almost seems like if you're not kissing boots, then you ain't getting nothing. Because I have not seen no one getting anything that was not part of somebody else's program. That wasn't part of somebody else's time. You understand? If you wasn't on it on homeboy program, then you're not getting it. And that's what I've seen. Basically, what you saying, like, and along other people, have seen them, and it seems like that's what it is. Like, but y'all, again, y'all, we still can't keep doing this every week. We got to do something. Something has to be done. That's why I'm telling y'all, we're gonna have to go to legislation route, and we're gonna have to go to paperwork route. I mean, if not, then we might as well just leave it alone. We ain't got no politicians fighting, but Chris England doing all he can do. People ain't even banging it up like they need to.
It's something. But my thing is, it's just like you said, if you do have that come together, other minds, and something gets started, it's sad to say because all hands should be helpful hands. And it's like Michael saying, it's not going to even be for recognition. Like, who cares about recognition? Some will come in just to salt it up. And so you have to be careful who you even allow to help. And that's the sad part. Anytime you get people together on one accord to try and fight a issue in the community, it's always going to be somebody to sort it up. And then you looking, just kind of like Tim said, you looking like, really, you know better than that. Like, why are you doing that? Oh no! I mean, those people can be, handled because you don't need. It's enough problems. You don't need extra problems. They can stay where they at.
No, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I don't even. I mean, I didn't throw out everything out that I'm gonna be willing to throw out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no more. I mean, if nobody has money, nobody has resources. What do you say this? Nobody has, because we ain't just saying about money. We talking about resources. No one has resources. No one has the available time.
I think, and it comes down to that first thing you just said, Tim. As much as folks want to say that we don't need money, or we, folks should do this because they from here, or folks should do this because we got a good cause. You're not going to get a whole lot of people to donate equipment, let alone time. The equipment, it costs them money. You know what I'm saying? You got some folks that do it.
even if it's a lower price than they normally charge, a discount is a whole lot better than what they normally charge. Sometimes that's what you got to look at paying. Um, but some sort of way, some shape, form, or fashion, somebody has to recoup some of they stuff. Um, and they'll be willing to help out as much as they can, but you know what I'm saying? You can't expect, like, if you're a person in charge, you can't expect your people to work for free because you donated your company services.
It's a wrap for the West Side. Honestly, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. It's a wrap for the West Side, man. Ain't no saving. Ain't no nothing. Ain't no nothing. I mean, just look. The worst project over there is not even a government-owned project. It's a private-owned apartment complex. The worst apartment complex on the West Side with the worst murders. You never heard one city official one time say anything about shutting it down. Not one time, but they'll shut down the club. You would shut a club down for a shooting because it's black owned. But you would not shut not a housing complex. You would not shut on a privately owned apartment complex down. And it has been the scene of multiple murders and other violence offenses throughout the years. But yet, you won't shut it down. It's a nuisance. It's a problem. But yet, we can't get it shut down. They took it just took the building, the YMCA building. It's gone. Like what, y'all? They snatching what they want on the West.
Well, I'm not prepared to say that they just took the Barnes Grant Clark.
Well, I'm sorry. I take that back. Right? I take that back. Yeah, I take that back. Let me say it. You are right. You are exactly right. It was given to them. And that's the other problem, right? I guess that's the other problem we have. We can't even trust our man.
Okay.
Man, please. Again, like I said, that's why I've been bagging up, and I'm gonna really bag all wheels and let them have because come on, man, stop. People like to talk. People like to get in positions in organizations and things of that nature, and nothing happens. It ain't nowhere in the world I'm finna pay no dues. I'm finna be part of no national organization that cannot come to my little town and help us. But we got to send fees and dues and all this in. No, sir. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. So, I'm not understanding. We got the NAACP. Where the SCLC at? Hello? Hello? Anybody on the phone? Where's the SCLC? Y'all just ordered Charles Seal a couple months ago. Where's the SCLC?
On vacation.
That's the Christian leadership. So, no, I'm saying.
Waiting for the next event.
Where is the Black Ministerial Alliance? And somebody told me, they love to get online and say that, well, preachers ain't there to do this, and that, but what do you mean? If they're not there to do this, and that, then tell most of them to take their churches out of the communities that need help the most. I'm just saying, y'all.
I'm back, y'all. I don't know what's going on with this. We dropping and coming back on, dropping. I don't know what's going on.
You know what's going on.
You making me think the same thing.
You know what's going on.
See, that's what you talk about. You try to get when talking, saying something about being for us.
They think I just be talking crazy. Hey man, technology is easy to deal with.
What we trying to what the conversation is benefiting? What group of people is it benefiting? What side of town mostly is it benefiting? Okay.
And I suppose
that's why I say you have to be careful with who you even include in anything.
Look, I'm supposed to have one of the fastest internet Wi-Fi systems in a router, and right now it's caught up now.
Oh no!
It's caught up now, but man, I've been disappointed with this one. Woof. I'm at to. I don't think it's the program. At first, I was thinking it was the program, but I don't think it's the program neither. I read up on it and checked out.
Hey, anybody on the phone, especially you, Daryl, can you answer this for me? Um, how do you get banned or blocked from being able to comment on the city's website when they're having their city council meeting?
Well, they're supposed to be open to the public.
That's
The only page I see to do it.
That's a good
My
question,
page was
yo.
on, you saw it, and that's why I took the picture of it. Like, how does that happen, Daryl? How does that happen?
Look, somebody got control of it. All I can tell you.
With all the trends, because you know when it happens to him, when certain people comments start getting too hot. When the comments, and it's always when it's something that they call a controversial meeting. It's always a meeting where the public is, the eyes are all on from the public. All of a sudden, after about maybe 10 comments, you ain't commenting no more. Because they're trying to keep, that they don't want spam, they don't want to be hacked and all this kind of stuff.
And let me say this, and I almost forgot, and I was supposed to say this a couple weeks ago, I had forgot about it. So let me say this to the people that in the audience that did ask me this or call themselves being smart or being funny. When they say somebody said this to me, like, well, why if Darryl cares so much, why don't you ask Darryl to use his building for free? Well. Darryl Billy told me I could use his building for something I was planning to do, and he had no charge. I'm the one that backed off from it. So I just want to answer that, when people love to think they can throw crosses to cause problems. But no, Daryl, a long time, me and Daryl been talked about that, and I asked him, and he said I could with no problem, didn't have to pay him or nothing, but I backed off of it. Because I
trying to divide and conquer. Trying to divide and conquer.
Yeah, no, you can't. So, and then Daryl building, it can't do, Daryl building ain't like, as far as for me, it couldn't do, now it couldn't hold no program what I'm talking about. It could hold as far as a speaking program, but for day-to-day operations, no, it's not set up for me. In no type of way. It's not set up for me. So they need to understand that right there.
But people always got to try to say something and think they saying something.
Oh yeah,
Why cause it? If it would cause a problem, why would you cause that problem? And like I said, they don't know the conversation that you had. So why throw that out there on where everybody can read it?
Yeah, I think that the people who come to ask you that are sympathetic to the people that we're the hardest on the council and the office of mayor.
And Mike, and I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep my reply. I don't care what city the reply. Listen, man, it's because the people are taxpayers. So yes, I'm gonna talk to the people who collect the taxes. I'm not gonna keep running to the community to my can y'all donate. No, they already donate. They pay taxes. You pay high water bill, garbage collection, all type of stuff. So that's all I'm saying. I think we had it in. The door by closed, huh?
But my thing is, all of y'all further to do for yourself. But what we get me is the ones that tell me, do for yourself. Why ask them? Don't beg them. You ain't ask for nothing that's not due you.
Right.
That's true.
What can you on that type of money? What can you do?
Right.
Well, I said, I was actually talking to my little producer. Let me stop saying my little producer. I say it because he's young enough to be like my kid. But he's very intelligent, and we were speaking of the fact of these A1C3s, or these 401C3s, 501C3s, I'm sorry. That the city constantly have in rotation. And I actually asked this question Tuesday about where is the data saying what they're actually accomplishing. Do they have to give any? because they get a check yearly, or how they get their checks, but they get money and they re-up on a yearly basis. If you're not doing anything and you just giving some of these programs money just because they've been around for a long time, is that the reason to give them money? If they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing or what they were designed to do, and even if you went to another one and they wasn't doing, hey, you get the same result, but you trying something different. You give somebody else a chance for a year or two. Hey, y'all ain't getting it done either. You're going to the next one. But why continue to give somebody just because it's a national organization and we just gonna give y'all the money because we know y'all work at another place. It might work in Miami, but it's not working in Tuscaloosa. We need something to work in Tuscaloosa. Can't worry about everybody else right now. We got to worry about Tuscaloosa. The University of Alabama been getting it for years, and they were supposed to affect the north side, the west side, the east side, and the south side of Tuscaloosa, the surrounding community. But it ain't happened yet. Yes. But when we talk about the University of Alabama, a whole different thing. We talking about these. No, they get signed on money. That's great. But what I'm saying, we talking about the organization that's supposed to be done for violence and drug prevention and so forth and so on. But even what he said about the University of Alabama, let me tell you what the problem is with that. Negroes run that department. I know the Negroes personally. Been met with them. Negroes run that department that comes into the community, to the black community, the west side. You heard me? Negroes run that department. I would say his name, but some of his people cool with me, so I ain't gonna say his name. Negroes run that department. They do what they want to do with it. They send it where they want to send it, help who they want. So that's the way that works. Exactly. So you can't. I'm not gonna lie. Now I can't put that on the UA as a whole. I'm not gonna do that because of the department. That's right. And the people in control of that running in that department look just like us. I know. They look just like us. Also, the football program gets it. I found that out by working out there. Yeah, they get the money too. They get the majority of it. But I'm trying to. I mean, people keep saying that the money is not there, but again, I'm saying that if the city, the community block grant is what 1.4 million, 1.44 million a year, and look at what the community block grant is supposed to go toward. I mean, that little whole little piece of change supposed to go toward that. You give $1 million a year again. I'm just running it down for y'all. When people think I'm just talking crazy, I think I don't know what I'm talking about. First of all, don't forget 3 years ago, the city of Tuscaloosa had $37 million in what was called an emergency fund. Mm-hmm. That was they read that out and stuff, and but like I said, that was a few years ago. But add the interest on it. They ain't used it for no emergency, but I think what we had was an emergency. When y'all was saying we didn't have the money, I knew it was there because I sat and did the research, and me and my team looked at it. We knew the 37 million was sitting there as an emergent. It was under emergency funds. You got 1 million from the city a year going to the detention center. For what reason? You got another $1 or $2 million going to the Tuscaloosa City school system. For what reason? Because you used to work for the school system. And then there's 2 other entities. I'm not gonna say that because I'm tired of giving away free. I'm tired of giving away free stuff. You got 2 other entities that is just as much involved. I'm talking about, they just as much is responsible for what's going on in Tuscaloosa as the city is. So that's another $1 million from the one entity and $1 million from the other entity. I mean, it is not hard, y'all. The thing is, the people we talking about, the people that's hearing us, they think $1 million is a lot of money. They think $5 million is a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money to a person. And I think a lot of people
We hate each other so much. When I say five, they like I'm talking about give me $5 million. Man, they nigga talking about give me, man, what that nigga gonna do with all that money? Get it, man. I don't even understand. Like for real. So the money is there.
But you constantly say you have professionals. You constantly say you said you talking about lawyers. You ain't talking about people that work for the city. What do you call them? Like you have to have the public defenders. You say you get people who work different. Like you said, it's different people. One way may work, this way may work. Well, for your organization, I'm sure you have people working this. They have whole this different area.
Hey, look,
So
hey, look, when it comes to my board, look, when it comes to the board of my organization, I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny. Each person on my board, the position they hold, ain't nobody down there. There's nobody down there. Nobody down there to hold a candle to them. Guaranteed. My person that controls the money, man, stop. My person that controlled the money controlled the non-profit, the money that came from the federal government yearly into Lake County. Look and see what Lake County is in Chicago, in North Chicago. See what Lake County was. Control every dime and decided what non-profits to get it. Checked on them to make sure at the end of accounting time they did what they were supposed to. Man, stop.
That's what it is. They can't have that. They can't have that.
Anybody to do accounting for what Tuscaloosa spend their money on. At this particular moment in time, we probably need an outside source.
That's the city need to hire him.
Look to make things on the up and up. We got another city in Alabama right now called Brookstone. And that whole entire town is in peril right now. From everybody, they going out everybody, including the mayor, because of practices and who's to say Tuscaloosa ain't doing the exact same thing. Once again, brought up on Tuesday. It is 90% black people in the municipal courts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because I guess black people are the only ones that do municipal crime in this whole entire city. Is that the case? No. How do we know that they're not trying to pay for everything at the black expense?
Mike, I just want to make the community safer, man. I just want to make the community safer so the little kids can play, the old folk can come out on their porch. You understand? Well, brothers ain't got the, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody don't feel like they got to tote gun. The youngsters ain't got to be scared. And everybody going to prison, coming back out worse than that. Well, hey, that's the section I'm on, Mike. I'm not focused on that section. I'm just being real. You know, and I'm not understanding, like, what's the problem? Why can't we get help? Why can't we get help? We got every problem in the world, man. We sitting on this phone naming every problem in the world for a town. Because Tuscaloosa is not a city. Let's get it right. For a town that don't even have a town that don't even have 65,000 people in it. And somebody ready to call in, you don't even know what he's talking about. Take the University of Alabama students away. How many people in Tuscaloosa? You right? About 55,000 residents.
We don't have 100,000 residents.
That's all I'm trying to say. You're talking about us, and that's why it's rated 21. Again, look at it today. Tuscaloosa per capita, 20, what is it, some per capita, 100 per capita. They're rated number 21 on the list. 21 for murder, violence. Little good old Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And like one of my partners be always like, well, man, you know, other cities rough for it, but we're not talking about other cities. We're talking about Tuscaloosa, though. We're talking about this small little place where it can really be a very nice place, man. Tuscaloosa can be one of the best places to be. But it got to be fair down there, man. It got to be fair. It has to be fair. And I'm afraid. I mean, I ain't afraid to say it, but and like I said, I'm gonna bag off anyway. I'm finna just bag off because ain't nobody willing to do nothing. They not willing to do nothing. No type of way. You got them people that was in them. You got them people that was in the national organization. They ain't filed not now piece of paperwork. They know everything cricket that went on and who named. They ain't filed not now piece of paperwork yet. So I'm starting to wonder I'm talking about the SCLC, the NAACP, and all them other big alphabet groups. You understand? They ain't filed no paperwork. So I'm starting to wonder what they paid off. All they murder 13-year-old babies and 2-year-old babies. Ain't nobody say on the lawn. You mean to tell me we can have a 13-year-old baby killed in his house while playing a game and a 2-year-old baby shot in the neck outside of the family gathering? And can't nobody get the SCLC or the main NAACP down there in Tuscaloosa?
Seems like somebody should have called the U.S. Attorney's office. You got somebody involved.
But that's what I'm saying. When you're a part of those organizations, especially when you're the president of them, you're supposed to have those type of contacts anyway. Again, it ain't hard to see why there's no progression when it comes to that side in that time. It's not hard to see.
And on top of that, you got to add in the local residents, not just the UA students, the renters. You got to add in the renters that are local. They're not counted in that number. That's why it's so low. Only people who live in houses are counted.
Hey guys, it's 10:04, and I ain't happy with this internet tonight. I've been working. I'm sorry. We're gonna end
They
this.
actually started acting right for a little bit there.
Yeah, after 10 o'clock.
Well, let me say, hey, y'all that's on the phone, why don't y'all form a community organization? Get with Miss Tina. Why don't y'all create something that's gonna go real big, get the people? I mean, like honestly, and let it focus around everything you need to focus on. Politics.
See the thing. I know what she said, but as far as her, didn't she say she was going to get her like you said, she had some stuff. She had a proposal. Nobody got a comment, but she did say she was willing to what she wanted to meet. That's what she said she wanted to meet.
Oh yeah, she done been through that and it was nothing. You know, I mean, the disrespect.
Actually, she told us Tuesday that whatever we trying to get up, she'd like to be a part of.
Right.
And it's all about us getting up and actually and talking. I personally am throwing my name in it because I for what I can do. Like I ain't no big dog. I ain't no but I care about Tuscaloosa because I've been in Tuscaloosa. I was born and raised in Tuscaloosa. I've been other places, true enough, but I came back home. And when it's all said and done, I need Tuscaloosa as a whole. I don't need you to take care of just the part of Tuscaloosa that you want to take care of. I need Tuscaloosa as a whole, and I especially need these young people to have a fair shake in life that we had. Like I said, me and Tim, we grew up together. I think we was in school from sixth grade on up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got in trouble, but in the trouble that these kids getting into now. Like Tim said, Tim ain't never did no drinking, no drugs. Neither well, I was a drinker. But I had to be honest about that. But I ain't never did no drugs. You know what I'm saying? And for most of this person, I've never been arrested. So that's just to say that the stuff that we was getting into was the stuff that I guess teenagers and young kids were getting into all the time. I didn't have to worry about walking out the house and having to make sure I had a pistol with me. I didn't have to do it. And I want these kids to have that same type of mentality. We have a lot of people right now who, at this moment, are volunteering out there at the the Barnes Branch YMCA, teaching these kids to play baseball. But then when they turn 13, is that right, Daryl? 13, that's cut off
Yeah,
age, ain't it?
yeah, 12. Well, that's
12.
well, you're right, 13. Yeah,
13. After that 13, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they kind of on their own. And that's when them jokers start wanting to get out and walk the street and really start selling themselves.
Yeah.
We got to continue to give them, offer them things to do after 13. These kids don't stop living after 13. They you know what I'm saying, they starting to see things. They starting to explore and want to do other things. And basically what our city government has said was, well, as long as y'all stay over there doing that, we don't care.
And that was what I was just going to ask, Mike. And that's what I was just about to ask you again. So what? I mean, I ain't nothing we. If the government, if your city leadership is not backing you, I mean, what? It ain't like we talking about. I mean, what?
The only thing I can tell you is, like with me, for instance, I can do what I can do with what I got.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike. There's no disrespect to you. There's no disrespect to you, but it's not gonna be enough. No disrespect to you.
I know.
I would not even ask you. Nobody should even be asking you that. Nobody. We should not be asking each other that. Period. We don't have the time to do. People got kids, man. You got to make sure your kid don't turn into one of them. We shouldn't have to do this. Why do you think the problem don't persist in the other community?
But because we don't have the assistance of our government, where we have people that's coming up with these ideas to try to help these kids.
Well, what do we need to do?
You gotta have those people that keep on trying to push together anyway and do the best they can. Just like every last one of the coaches that go out there and volunteer their time to teach people how to play baseball. Some of them folks ain't never picked up a baseball since they were little. They're trying to teach them how to play.
I wish all people would get involved, man, because they really don't understand how deep this thing is. Like, they think, again, I don't know. I mean, y'all think I just be talking, but you got caught out of Montgomery. Like, prison work, all of that. That's like I'm telling y'all, this is not just, it ain't just one place, man. I mean, like, they don't even want nobody to come into prisons and do work. They try to scare you. We tried to get inside the prisons recently. The chaplain, I'm not going to even say which prison, but it was like the bloodiest prison in Alabama. The chaplain said, well, we don't have enough, whatever. And if we did, if anybody came in, they have to be, kind of like have to be on their own. And they're going to have to go, down in there. And I was like, what you mean on your own? He was like, well, without the police, the CO escorts. I said, okay. I said, what you mean down in there? He like, down in there? I said, you mean they got to go down in hell? And he started laughing. He like, yeah, they got to go down in hell. I said, shit, how we get there? He said, huh? I said, how we get there? I got a team that's ready that want to come to the bloodiest prison that you got in Alabama. Let us go in them cells. We don't need y'all. Y'all can close the door. I got a team. I promise you, 12 me. I promise you. I got 12 of them. Let them go up in there. And we're going to talk to them young brother. We're going to go get something together. That's all we need. You know what happened? He gave you a couple numbers. Call this person, call this person, call that person. Tell that person I said call you. All this was in Montgomery. But guess what happened? We ain't heard nothing back. I talked to that chaplain, but from those people, man, I laid a plan. Hey, we have a plan to go in, but our first thing is just let us go in. Do what you do. Search us, pan us, do everything. That ain't our first time going in prison speaking. We've been doing it. Hey, let us go in there. Give us a few hours in there a week. You understand? Let us get in there, close the door. Let us go do our thing in there. Once them folks got to see it, we weren't talking about being scared. I'm not the only one. Like I said, I got to see. Once they see we weren't like, scared away. Them babies that come from our community, scared away. with no calls back coming in. They don't want to call us back. So that's how I just feel like, it's something that people want to happen. They want it to happen. So that's why I be feeling like, man, the Fords are just,
Hey guys, I gotta close it down. I gotta shut it down. Don't forget this Friday, tomorrow night. Go check out my good friend Sanchez Week. He got this premiere movie that's gonna take place. Those of you that got an opportunity, go on the website and order tickets, and don't be afraid to also just order the video. So order the video or go to the movies on tomorrow. It's at the Bama Theater at the doors open at 6 and showtime is at 7 p.m. Please, please, please help him out.
Go check him out. They still got some tickets I think left over there at Catch Taste too. So if you can get some tickets before the actual movie start opening up at 6 o'clock, because the tickets at the theater are going to be $25. So you can save yourself a couple of dollars if you want to go get 2 tickets beforehand. So make sure y'all go and check them out.
Hey, I appreciate it, y'all. Have a great, safe weekend. Seems like it's gonna be a beautiful weather weekend. Next week, Veronica, we'll talk about your new chief justice. We'll talk about the injustices of the young man that got killed during the knock and lock.
My gosh, yeah.
No lock warrant. We'll talk about that and other things that's going on. So we'll have a big conversation next week. Tim, join us also if you can on Tuesday, 8 o'clock, same show, same time.
Okay, now y'all be safe and take care.
Please do, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday.
All right.
Okay.
All right, everybody be good.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.